What's up, KFG gang? It's your boy Big Butt John 25, and tonight I'm gonna do my WWE Raw review and highlights. You guys new, push that red button, hit that like button. Let's get started. All right, now we opened up Monday Night Raw from the Capital One Arena in Washington D.C. We're told that cameras are standing by for Edge arrival. Becky Lynch's music hits, and out she comes to a big pop with the Raw Women's Championship. Back, back, Becky grabs a microphone and tells Washington D.C. that the man has come around. She tells everyone she's not here to joke around because her opponent is Shayna Baszler. She mentions to the Titantron to show a clip last night's pay-per-view match for the #1 contender. We get a recap of the Elimination Chamber that Shayna Baszler won. Fans start chanting for Becky. She mentions that Baszler managed to easily beat someone it took Becky Lynch her entire career to beat. She names off a few accolades of Shayna Baszler, then calls her black black hole of charisma. Black hole of charisma. Becky says she might be a you know what, but she's the you know what that runs this division. Becky says that Baszler is the biggest threat to her title ever since she ripped the title out of Ronda Rousey's cold dead hands. Becky says at WrestleMania it will heart versus skill or the man versus the Queen of Spades. She tells Baszler she'll defeat her at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch music hits and she exits the ring. This was a great promo by Becky Lynch. I love Becky Lynch promo. It was just a fantastic promo on Monday Night Raw. But anyway, great promo by Becky Lynch. Anyway, let me move on. We see a video package promoting Drew McIntyre for tonight. Backstage, Rey Mysterio is walking to the gorilla position for his match against Angel Garza next. We go to commercial. Rey Mysterio versus Angel Garza with Zelina Vega. Rey Mysterio is out first. He hugs all the kids in his way down the entrance. We see a replay of last month when Angel Garza took out Rey Mysterio on the floor that put Rey Mysterio on the shelf. Angel Garza is out next with Zelina Vega. He kissed someone on the cheek on his way down the ramp. Angel Garza enters the ring and lays on the top of the turnbuckle. Rey rushes Garza as soon as the bell rings. Mysterio sends Garza to the turnbuckle with a head scissors. Rey Mysterio hip toss him now. Mysterio goes for a hurricanrana, but Garza nearly turns it into a powerbomb. Rey Mysterio escapes. Garza nails a giant boot to Rey's face that lays him out. Garza drop kicks a kneeling Mysterio outside of the ring. Garza removes his pants to a small pop from the crowd. We get a picture in picture. Garza catapults Mysterio into the turnbuckle. He stumps on his face until the referee makes him back off. Mysterio recovers in the corner, but Garza runs and clotheslines him against the turnbuckle. Garza puts him into the tree of woe and stops at his head. He drags him over and goes for a pin, but only gets a 2. Garza applies a headlock. Mysterio fights back, but Garza launches him into the air and knees him into the chest. Rey is wrecked on the ropes, and Garza calls for the 619. He runs off the ropes, but Rey Mysterio recovers and lays him out. Garza is on the outside. Rey slides off the apron and hits a fall splash. He tosses Garza onto the ropes. Mysterio enters the ring by hitting a seated senton. Mysterio with a pin, but only gets a close 2. Both men to their feet. Mysterio jumps off the middle rope, but Garza catches him. Garza hits a springboard reversal suplex and goes for a pin. Mysterio kicks out at 2. Garza picks up Mysterio, but he hits an insecurity that sends Garza to the ropes. Mysterio goes for the 619, but Garza moves out of the way. Garza lays out Mysterio. Garza puts Mysterio on the top turnbuckle. They trade punches. Mysterio gets the upper hand. He launches off, but Garza stops him. Mysterio counters and sends Garza against the ropes again. This time he nails the 619. Mysterio hits dropping the dime and gets the pin. The winner of the match, Rey Mysterio. Garza recovers in the ring as Mysterio heads up the ramp. We see Kevin Owens entering the arena. He stops by Seth Rollins and his stable. Rollins is eating popcorn. He tells Owens it's really good to see him and offers him some popcorn. Kevin Owens says he's good, then tosses his briefcase at them and goes in for the attack. The numbers game is too much. And they send him into several different mental structures. Seth Rollins watches Owens wither in pain while he enjoys his popcorn. We get an advertisement of Stone Cold Steve Austin's return to Raw on 3/16 day. They show us Rhea Ripley talking about WrestleMania. She brings up how everyone has always compared her to Charlotte Flair. She talks about how she changed her look and entire to differentiate herself. She says she's going to beat the best at WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair music hits, and she comes out. Charlotte Flair's music hits, and she comes out to some pyro. She introduced as the winner of the Women's 2020 Royal Rumble match. Charlotte Flair does a little spin in the ring and points to the WrestleMania sign. Fans woo. She asks if anyone says Rhea Ripley vintage. She calls her the new shiny toy. She says the package fire her up and asks if it fire everyone else up too. Charlotte assures Rhea Ripley that regardless how much she has ever looked like her, she never beat her. There's only one of her. She says Ripley would have to stand in front of 90,000 people and get humbled. She ends with the woo. Rhea Ripley's music hits. Rhea Ripley comes out to a small pop. Ripley makes her way into the ring as fans chant. Rhea Ripley goes to talk, but Charlotte cuts her off and says everyone already listened to her talk in the video package. Charlotte says this isn't NXT, it's Monday Night Raw, and that's her kingdom. She tells Ripley she excused. Rhea Ripley responds by decking Charlotte Flair in the face. Ripley exits the ring while Charlotte Flair looks on with a smirk. Backstage, we see Randy Orton do slowly possible turns towards the camera in live television history. We told that AJ Styles in this week's guest on WWE Backstage on FS1. The Almighty Bobby Lashley versus Zack Ryder with Kurt Hawkins. This match was garbage. This match was very garbage. I didn't even care about this match. Lashley makes his entrance without Lana. The King reminds us that Lana is absent because she's recording a movie with Bruce Willis. The bell rings and Lashley bulldozes through Ryder. Lashley hits a massive spear in the corner. Lashley tries to get the fans hyped, but we get nothing. Ryder goes for a missile drop kick while Lashley is distracted, but Lashley catches him in a spine buster. Lashley hits the Dominator and gets the easy win. The winner of the match, the Almighty Bobby Lashley. Lashley celebrates in the ring. We're treating to a replay of Drew McIntyre nailing multiple Claymore kicks to Lesnar last Monday on Raw. Drew McIntyre is in action next. We go to commercial. Back from the break, and Aleister Black is in his dark room. Before he can talk, he gets a knock on his door first. we see Buddy Murphy. Then Seth Rollins walks in. Rollins says that Black has been running into a bit of numbers game lately. Rollins says he'll like Black to join him. Buddy tosses him a t-shirt. Seth Rollins says maybe he'll join him. Black tosses the t-shirt back at Murphy and says maybe not. Rollins says you're either with him or against. Black reminds Rollins that he just knocked on his door. That means a fight. Fans pop. Eric Rowan versus Drew McIntyre. Eric Rowan is out first with this cage. I don't really care what's inside this cage. But anyway, Drew McIntyre's music hits and the fans give a huge pop. McIntyre marches to the ring while a smile. He passed by Eric Rowan's cage and doesn't even flinch. The bell rings and Eric Rowan charges, but Drew gets a boot up. Eric Rowan goes for the Iron Club, but Drew slips out and clotheslines Eric Rowan over the top rope outside the ring. Drew McIntyre flips Eric Rowan into the floor. McIntyre sits on the apron for a bit, getting a rest. He spots Eric Rowan's cage. He grabs it and places it on the floor, then flattens it with a steel steps. Eric Rowan attacks from behind, but Drew McIntyre gets the girl's kiss and tosses Rowan back in the ring. Drew hits the future shot DDT. I love that spot. But anyway, counts down from 3 and nails the Claymore kick for the win. The winner of the match, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre flips out of the ring as he walks by the cage. He pretended to kick dirt in it on the stage. He pointed the WrestleMania signs to a small pop. Once again, we see Orton backstage. They air a video package of last week's segment between Randy Orton and Beth Phoenix, where he nailed the RKO on her. The Kabuki Warriors versus Liv Morgan. Didn't really care about this match either. The Kabuki Warriors is garbage. Anyway, that's just my opinion. The Kabuki Warriors makes their way to the ring with the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. We go to commercial. Back from the break, the Kabuki Warriors are dancing their music. They cut a promo without subtitles while laughing hysterically. Kairi Sane asks Asuka how her wrist is doing. She pretends to cry as she tells Sane it's okay. Then she gets angry and says she wants to beat someone. Natalia's music hits and she comes out on the ramp. Then Liv Morgan's music hits. They head down to the ring together. Natalia stops to talk to a kid in the audience. Morgan and Natalia pose together on the apron. The Kabuki Warriors promo was just god awful. It was just god awful. But anyway, let me continue. Starting out is Liv Morgan and Kairi Sane. Morgan quickly rolls up Sane, but only gets a one count. Kairi Sane hits a head scissors. Kairi Sane goes to capitalize, but Morgan knocks her down, then hits a drop kick on her back. She goes for another pin, but still only gets one. Tag to Natalia. Natalia takes down Kairi Sane and goes for a pin. She once again gets a 1 count. Kairi Sane recovers against the ropes, but Ruby Riott makes her way down to the ring. We get another commercial break. We get a picture-in-picture. Natalia tries to apply the sharpshooter, but Kairi Sane slides outside the ring. The Kabuki Warriors recover on the outside, but Natalia and Morgan hit stereo baseball slides. They roll Kairi Sane back in the ring. Natalia tags in Morgan, who goes for a sliding pin, but only gets a 2 count. Kairi Sane tags in Asuka. Asuka levels Morgan with a clothesline. Asuka applies a wrist lock. She toys with Morgan by kicking her nonchalantly on the mat. Asuka applies multiple chokeholds with her foot while the referee tells her to break it up. Morgan starts fighting back. She knocks Kairi Sane off the apron and then takes down Asuka. Morgan makes the tag to Natalia. Asuka attacks Natalia's injured shoulder. Asuka tags in Carson and they double team Natalia's arm. Carson tags in Asuka and they continue their double team on the arm. Carson is now tagged in and once again they attack the arm. Carson pins Natalia by stepping on her, but Natalia kicks out at 2. Carson tags in Asuka and they double team her. Carson hits a missile drop kick to Natalia's chin. Asuka goes for a cocky pin but only gets a 2. Asuka applies an armbar to her arm. Natalia tries to fight back, but Asuka tightens the hold. Sarah Logan now makes her way to the ring. Both former Riot Squad members watch the match from the floor. Logan and Riot start battling on the outside. Morgan jumps off the turnbuckle and takes them both out, leaving Natalia alone in the face to face the Kabuki Warriors. Natalia thinks she has the upper hand, but Carson attacks and Asuka when she's not looking. Natalia locks in the sharpshooter on Carson, but Asuka nails her from behind. She pins Natalia for the win. The winners of the match, the Kabuki Warriors. We get a shoot of Morgan, Logan, and Ruby Riott recover on the outside. I think this Ruby Riott versus Sarah Logan versus Liv Morgan is going to be a kickoff at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. We get a shoot of Morgan, Logan, and Ruby Riott recovering on the outside. I just said that. Alright, let me continue. We get another reminder that the cameras are watching the parking lot for Edge arrival. The OC comes out to AJ Styles music and they introduce the best tag team in the world and the phenomenal AJ Styles. AJ Styles has the microphone. He reminds everyone that he had Black Beat until the Undertaker has shown up. We see a video package of Taker's return. AJ Styles says AJ Styles says that he remembers Taker losing at WrestleMania 3 years ago to Roman Reigns, and that Taker was ending his career. He says he believes that Taker really should have retired after his streak ended by Brock Lesnar. AJ Styles says whatever reason he has to return will cost him because he wants him at WrestleMania. We get a very small pop. He says a few years ago he will be scared to call Taker out, but today he didn't see the phenom. All he sees is an old man named Mark Calloway. AJ Styles says that the only reason Taker keep coming back is because his wife is to blame. His name drops Michelle McCool. He says that she gets everything she wants because she's spoiled and conniving. AJ Styles blames Michelle McCool for what about to happen and repeats that he's challenged Taker for a match at WrestleMania, and Taker is an old man. The fans booed, so Styles says the fans can boo all they want because the truth is that they don't care about Taker at all. AJ Styles says if Taker accepts the challenge, he'll be the final nail in the coffin. Backstage, Black is still in his dark room waiting for his match against Seth Rollins. We see a video package of John Cena accepting a challenge from The Fiend for WrestleMania. Backstage, we attempt to get an interview out of Randy Orton, but he stays quiet. 24/7 champion Riddick Moss versus Cedric Alexander. I don't care about the 24/7 champion. This match was quick. It is what it is. Anyway, the bell rings and Riddick Moss lays into Cedric Alexander. Riddick tosses him out of the ring, then rolls him back in the ring. He goes for a pin, but barely gets a 2 count. Riddick Moss applies a rear chin lock. Alexander escapes with a jawbreaker. Alexander gets hyped up and lays some punches. Alexander launches off the top rope and connects with Riddick. He goes for a pin, but gets a 1 count. Riddick fights back and hits a huge spear into the corner. Riddick nails his neck-breaker finisher for a very quick win. The winner of the match, Riddick Moss. After the match, Riddick holds up the title and yells the audience that he's the champion isn't going anywhere. We see a title card reminding us that Edge is coming up. Back from commercial, and MVP is in the mid sentence. He trash talks the city and says he'd rather be somewhere. He says the transitioning from the competitor in the ring to an absolute brainiac. MVP says he's going to build his new stable around someone like Edge. He says Edge just need a little guardians from him to get his focus back. He claims he could be the one to make Edge a champion once again. He says Edge isn't here, but then we see on the Titantron that Edge has arrived. Edge is making a beeline for the ring. We hear the familiar "You think you know me," and Edge makes his way to the ring. He's in no mood. Edge rips the microphone from MVP's hand. He tells Orton to grow a set and get out here right now, and then he shoves the mic back into MVP's hand. MVP says that Edge's problem, then asks how's his wife. Edge hits his spear. Randy Orton attempts to attack from behind, but Edge hits his own RKO. Edge rolls out to the floor and grabs a chair to a pop. Edge enters the ring, but Orton rolls out and retreats. Edge chokes MVP in the middle of the ring, but never takes his eyes off of Orton. Edge nails an RKO onto the steel chair. Edge grabs a second chair. He tells Orton this is him. Fans chant one more time. Edge rolls him over and hits a second one. Orton and Edge keep eye contact. Edge music hits to a pop. Orton stares on from the ramp. Edge starts to exit the ring and runs after Orton, who retreats to the back. The chase is on. We cut a commercial. This promo was good by Edge. This promo was good by Edge. I loved it. We see Triple H winning the Lifetime Achievement Awards from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Paul Heyman cuts a pre-tape backstage promo. Paul Heyman says that for the 18-year, Lesnar has been the most dominant wrestler in the WWE. He names off all wrestlers Lesnar has defeated. We get a pre-tape promo from Drew McIntyre as well. McIntyre says he has to Claymore kick Lesnar to remind him that that wasn't a fluke when he eliminated him at the Royal Rumble. He says he's going to be the next WWE champion. Backstage, they tried to get an interview from Edge, but he asked repeatedly where Randy was. She says that he's sorry to be the one to tell him this, but Orton has left the arena. Edge looks furious. Seth Rollins versus Alistair Black. This match was pretty good. I was looking forward to this match. Seth Rollins is out first and introduced as the Monday Night Messiah. He makes his way to the ring with more popcorn. Alistair Black is out next. During his entrance, they once again plug Stone Cold's return next week on 3/16 day. The bell rings and they lock up. Black gets a headlock, but Rollins reverses it into a wrist lock. Alistair Black flips out and lays out Rollins. They exchange offensive moves, but they both dodge and reverse. Rollins is sent outside the ring. Black pretends he's going to fly over the top rope onto Rollins, but he does a moonsault instead of a sit Indian style in the middle of the ring. Seth Rollins slowly climbs into the ring, but Black doesn't get up. Seth Rollins goes to boo him, but Black ducks it and does a kip up to his feet. Alistair remains in control with strikes. Black hits a knee to Rollins Rollins' chest that sends him outside to the ring. Black rolls out and Buddy meets him on the outside. Buddy backs up and Rollins attacks him. He rolls him back into the ring. Rollins stomps on him in the middle of the ring. Aleister Black tries to recover against the ropes, but Rollins continues the assault. Black is able to fight back. He tried to hit a German suplex, but Rollins escapes and hits a sling blade. He goes for a pin, but only gets a 2. Rollins applies a near chin lock, but Black gets out of it. Seth Rollins sends him face first onto the turnbuckle with a flatliner. Buddy watches from the outside and applauds. Black gets fired up and battles back. He nails Rollins with a bunch of strikes that puts him down. He taunts to the crowd. Murphy climbs onto the apron while Black is distracted. Seth Rollins tried to roll him up. Black kicks out. Black hits a German suplex onto a pin, but Murphy breaks it up for a disqualification. The winner by disqualification, Aleister Black. The ALP enters the ring now. It's 4-on-1. They all take turns beating on Black until we hear the Viking Raiders horn. They exchange to the ring and start fighting the heels off. The numbers game is still too much, but the Street Profits music hits. They chase off the heels before the heels can retreat to the back. The Street Profits challenge them to a 4-on-4 match. They says they want the smoke, and Rollins agrees to the challenge. We go to commercial. The Viking Raiders and the Street Profits versus Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy, and ALP. This 8-man tag team match, which I wasn't even looking forward to. That's all I gotta say. I wasn't even looking forward to this 8-man tag team match. It was just god awful. By the way, it was just god awful. Montez and Dawkins get Buddy with some offensive. Dawkins goes for a pin, but can't keep him in. Look, Ivar is tag in. ALP Akam is tag in. He gets the advances and tags in Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins tries to whip Ivar, but he can't. He tags in Murphy to try and double team, but he can't. Ivar runs through them both. The Viking Raiders beats on Akam. Montez is tagging in. He tries to chop Akam in the chest, but he has no effect. The heels take turns tagging in and beating on Montez now. He continuously tries to get a tag, but the heel stops him. He eventually escapes. He escapes and tags in Eric. Rezar is tagged in, but he sends to the outside. Eric flies to the outside, but Rezar doesn't budge. We once again go to commercial. Back from the break, and Buddy is beaten on Eric in his corner. Seth Rollins is tagging in. He attacks Eric on the outside of the ring. Rollins attempts to whip Eric, but he reverses and sends Rollins into the barricade. Eric rolls in the ring and attempts to tag someone in, but Rollins grabs his foot. Eric gets extremely close, but Murphy enters the ring and knocks the whole babyface team off the apron. Seth Rollins tags back in Buddy now. He attacks Eric in the corner. With both members of the ALP get tagged in now. They double team Eric. Akam goes for a pin, but only gets a 2 count. Akam applies a chin lock. Eric tries to fight back, but Akam nails him with a knee to stop him in his tracks. Seth Rollins is tagged in. He choked Eric in the corner. The referee pushes him back in while he's distracted. The heels take a cheap shot to Eric in the corner. Seth Rollins applies a chokehold in the middle of the ring. The fans are chanting, "We want the smoke." Rollins yells out that Eric isn't going anywhere, and no one is getting the smoke. Eric starts to fight back, but Rollins gets a cheap shot. Rollins goes to attack again, but Eric hits a knee to the face. The attack is made onto Montez Ford. Montez flies off the turnbuckle and takes out Rollins. He attacks each of the heels at their corner. In picture, Montez Ford climbs the turnbuckle to attack Buddy. He pushes off and racks by Akam. Akam is tagged in and attacks Montez Ford on the outside. Both men are back in the ring, and Buddy is tagged in. Buddy nails Montez in the back. Seth Rollins gets in his face and taunts him. Buddy chokes him against the ropes. Seth Rollins gets in his face again, but Montez decks him. Buddy attacks him from behind and keeps control. Rollins tags in now. Rollins keeps control on Montez. Montez tries to fight back, but Seth Rollins decks him. Rollins tags in Buddy. Montez tries to get the tag again, but stops him. Montez hits a super kick out of nowhere. Montez tags in Ivar. Ivar runs through all heels. Ivar tags in Eric. Eric gets distracted and turns around to a super kick from Rollins. The Street Profits enter the ring and take out AOP. Eric nails a giant slam on Rollins. Montez launches off the turnbuckle with a fall splash. It's a close 2 count, but Buddy makes the save. Everyone starts battling outside the ring. Ivar hits a suicide dive, taking out everyone. Montez takes out Rollins in the ring. This hits a flip over the top rope onto the whole group. Montez quickly enters the ring, but Rollins cuts him off out of nowhere with a curb stomp. Rollins gets the pin and victory. The winner of the match, Seth Rollins, Murphy, and AOP. Rollins attempts to celebrate in the ring. Kevin Owens comes out of nowhere and takes out Rollins. AOP and Murphy enter the ring, but they all get a stunner. Seth Rollins enters the ring and hits a curb stomp. Rollins looks furious. He hits a second curb stomp as the fans boo. AOP and Buddy watch from the outside. Rollins hits a third curb stomp as the show ends. I just want to say every promo was great. Every promo was great on Raw, except for the Kabuki words was god awful. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my WWE Raw review and highlights, drop a like on this video. Comment down below what you guys think of Raw. My Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok will be down below in the description. And you guys have a great night. I'll talk to you guys later. Shouts to DJ Storm, shouts to TM, shouts to your boy Chris, shouts to Ace from New York, and shouts to all the KFG family, man. Shouts to that girl Becky C. Shouts to Tushushi. And that's all I gotta say. Shouts to my virtual world. Shouts to V Marie and everybody that's in the KFG game. Everybody that's in the KFG. Shouts to Andy Appleseed as well. But anyway, shouts to KFG Gaming. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Continue to stay positive and never give up. Take my advice. But anyway, I'm finna end this video. If you guys enjoy my WWE Raw review and highlights, drop a like on this video. Comment down below what you guys thinking. Give me 30 likes on this video, and that's it. This your boy B-Boy John 25. I will talk to you guys later in the next video. KFG Gang, and I'm out of here. Peace out, everyone, and I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Always stay positive.